Hello and welcome to this mid-morning taste challenge. We have two Kentucky rye whiskeys. Now, the first one is Old Overholt, America's oldest rye whiskey brand, introduced in 1810 in Pennsylvania by Abraham Overholt. There's his face. 86 proof, aged 4 years, non-chill filtered. Now, this current version that I'm talking about was introduced in 2022. All right. So this is not what was on the market in 1810. I don't know how it was configured then. Probably nobody knows. There's the Keystone from the Keystone State, but it was bought out by the Jim Beam Company, now Beam Suntory, but it's part of James B. Beam Distilling of Kentucky, and the distillery in Pennsylvania has been abandoned for decades, like 30 years, and now it's produced in Kentucky. And it runs for $18.99 at Total Wine and More. $18.99, cheapest price I'm aware of at the current time. I paid $19.99 because I didn't know that they had it that cheap. All right, anyway, yes, it is still at Walmart. I did a check at Walmart this morning. It wasn't coming up on the website, but it's on the shelves. But they still got the older version, the 86 proof, 3-year aged. 3-year age. I guess they're not going to order more until they sell what they got. Makes sense. But the 4-year age, don't go to Walmart. They don't have it. I mean, at least the one here, and your Walmart might have it. Okay. Most people that watch my channel tell me that Walmart doesn't even sell liquor where they live. But in Louisiana, every Walmart has a liquor section. All right. And it's not a separate store. It's part of the store. Hey, Ron, I'm glad to see you. You too, Max Walt and the Russian Federation. Thanks for watching. I don't know if you get these products where you live. Okay, this one has a wooden cap and a rubber stopper. I think that's rubber. It's Winchester Kentucky Rye Whiskey. This was $19.99 at Total Wine and More, and the price is still the same. It says since 1866, but yeah, I don't think so, because the O.Z. Tyler Distillery wasn't founded until 2014, so I don't know where they get off talking about 1866. But they don't really explain how it's been around that long. So yeah, I don't know what that's about. 90 proof. Jacob Call is the master distiller. I think he's still the master distiller over there. O.Z. Tyler Distillery, Owensboro, Kentucky. They don't list it on their website. Age a minimum of 1 year and a day in new oak. So it's only age 1 year. It's age 366 days. 366 days. Is that allowed? Yeah. It doesn't claim to be straight rye. It just says, yeah, it's a rubberized. It's more like foam rubber, though. It's not that's not neoprene. I think that's foam rubber. That's weird. Okay. Yeah. Rye whiskey just has to be 51% rye. There's no age requirement. Now, if it's straight rye, yeah, 2 years. But see. So there it goes right there. Here is that's enough. Max Volt says, Old Overholt can be ordered in principle, but the cost is 43 euros. Oh, no. Like I say, $18.99 here, $19. So would be about 18 euros. 18 euros in America. 18, 19 euros, something like that. So, yeah. I didn't see that anywhere. When I was on my trip, I didn't see. Actually, I don't recall seeing any rye whiskey on the trip to either. I didn't see it in England, Gibraltar, Spain, or Spanish Africa. Wasn't really actively looking for rye whiskey, but I certainly don't remember. I saw it in Texas and in the Texas airport, Dallas, Fort Worth airport, New Orleans airport. Yeah, of course. I saw Sazerac rye there. 47.19, oh, 18 to 19, yeah, about 18 or 19 euros here. If you converted euros to dollars, you understand. Okay, just like when I went to Spain, in Spanish Africa, same country, it's just a part of Spain and Africa. But I had to use euros, but I didn't. But I used my credit card. Well, I did convert $6 of American money to cash, $5 Spanish cash at a restaurant. They did that for me. That was nice. And then I was at a restaurant, didn't buy enough food. The guy said, "I'll just charge you €5," and he gave me the change, from the little cup of coffee. Well, that worked out fine because then I had more change, more cash. But the credit card is called Visa Travel, so you just use the card and it converts from dollars to euros or euros to dollar back and forth. And there's no charge on it. There's no fee you have to pay. So that's why you want to get the Visa Travel card. Yeah, copper color. So you don't want to just take a regular credit card to a foreign country and start using it without checking out the card. Because you might spend $500 and come home with a $650 bill and say, "What is all of this?" See? And my cards were that way. I have other cards from Bank of America, Visa, but they're not travel cards. They would have charged me a fee every time. So about a month before I left for the trip, I applied, and they said, "You're approved," and they sent me the card about 2 weeks before the trip, and it was perfect, perfect. Of course, you can use the card anywhere you want. It's just specifically designed for travel in case you have that problem, which you're going to have that problem. Okay, unless you go to Puerto Rico or the U.S. Virgin Islands or the Bahamas, which uses U.S. dollars interchangeably with their money, so there's no conversion. It's just on par. Yeah, but better safe than sorry, Okay. All right. Put this lamp on, add a little light. We don't need much light like we do when it's dark. Okay, so you would hope that a 4-year age rye would beat a 1-year age rye, but you can't go by that. You can't really be sure because the other one is 90 proof. This one's 86, so that it could mix things up a little bit. Here we go. The appearance is the same. The price is basically the same. So the only real difference is the age and the chill filtering. The old Overholt claims that it's non-chill filtered, which I'm sure they are telling the truth, and the Winchester makes no such claim, which means it's probably chill filtered. Have I noticed that made a difference in these challenges? No, I haven't. I haven't noticed that with anything. With any bourbon whiskey, I get the non-chill filter, the chill filter. It's supposed to be a big deal. I just honestly, I don't notice that it makes a difference. I don't know the rye content of either one of these. They don't list the rye percentage. We know it's at least 51% rye. The other 49% can be any sort of grain or any blend of grains. Okay, grain whiskeys, doesn't matter. It's their option. Winchester Rye is sold here. Price is $21.62. That's a good price. Being shipped all the way to Russia. When you think about it, that's a good price. Jack Daniels is cheaper in Gibraltar than it is here. It's $24 here. It's $13 in Gibraltar. Why is that? They got to ship it across the ocean all the way over there. Well, they got some kind of very favorable taxes, very favorable alcohol laws, because all their liquor was super cheap. Their beer was cheap. It was cheap in Spain. I was buying cans of beer for 43 cents. I think one can was 38 cents or euros, which would be what, 43 cents? I mean, cheap. Low. Cheap. Yeah, cheap. For, considering all those things. All right. It's like Baltica. We get Baltica beer, which for a pretty low price. Well, they stopped selling it because of stuff going on. But some stores still sell. But we got Baltica pretty low here. I'm sure it's lower priced in Russia, considering that's where it's from. They don't have to ship it, except just down to another town. So that's going to make a big difference. And that's probably why one of the reasons why they started doing all that home brewing of brands, like Tiger Beer, brewing it in the Netherlands. So they're not shipping it all the way from Singapore to Holland. They can just make it in Holland. Or making Stella Artois in New York. Why do they make Stella Artois in New York now? Well, it's cheaper to ship it from New York to Louisiana than to ship it from Belgium to Louisiana, you see. Has it changed the flavor? I haven't noticed any change. Some people say they ruined it. It tastes the same to me, but that's me. I'm not taking up for the brand. I don't care about the brand personally, except that I drink it, and do reviews. Other than that, I don't ever buy it. It's too expensive. Even, it's just overpriced to me. Oh, I already told you about the Baltic Russia. This beer is cheap and not very good in quality. Oh, everybody around here liked it when they were trying it, but we didn't know it was supposed to be bad, Real good flavor here. Minty, grain, bread crust, full flavor. It's a beautiful product. I don't know which one this is at this point, but whatever it is, it tastes great. I love rye whiskey. I think they do a great job with rye whiskey. I prefer it over bourbon, although I do like bourbon. And rye whiskey is just so enjoyable. Too bad it's not so popular anymore. I think 100 years ago was the number one type of whiskey, but those things change. Now everything is Gaga bourbon, right? Everybody's cuckoo for bourbon puffs. But at one time, rye was very popular. Okay, and it's got a following today, of course. It's just a small following relative to bourbon. I mean, bourbon and Canadian whiskey got the market, and Scotch. Irish has a following, much bigger than it used to be. Scotch is always popular. Bourbon used to be not popular. Now it's the big thing. Canadian whiskey, basically when I say Canadian whiskey is popular, what I mean to say is Crown Royal is popular. I mean, the other brands have their market, Canadian Club, and Seagram's VO and all, but Crown Royal is the king. I mean, it really does wear the crown because it really is the sales king. In fact, it's the number one selling whiskey in Louisiana of any type, which is strange, isn't it? How is the weather today? Chilly? Yes. Damp, chilly, uncomfortable. I don't like it. I don't like it. Still coughing from being sick last week. I wasn't really that sick last week, but it was a little cold, a little bit. Head cold, sinus. But yeah, I don't like winter in Louisiana. No. I hate it. This one seems mild. Or hello, beer hounds, beer reviews, Bill. This is close. I'm going to say that up front. Do you like it when it's warm? I was just born in winter. I'm used to snow. Well, yeah, I like it when it's warm. I like it when it's hot. I don't run the air conditioner too cold. So if you like a cold house during summer, don't come here because you're going to hate it. I just don't do it. I don't like it. Air conditioner freezes me. Elvis Presley should have been outside more. He's staying inside in that air conditioning all the time. He'd had that thing set to lowest setting, still be sweating. Of course, there were other reasons, but if he'd have been outside with fresh air, he probably would have done better. Okay, just getting over being sick too. I'm sorry you were sick. but it's that time of year, isn't it? Okay, still 70 plus degrees here in Orange County. Really? Of course, I don't like the frost at all, but a little bit is not too bad, says Maxwell. Yeah, snow. I don't like snow. When I was in London, it wasn't snowing, but the morning I woke up to go out to the subway and all walking around, it was frosty. There was snow everywhere. What am I saying? Not snow, ice everywhere on people's windshields and on their cars, on the street. You had to be careful. It was obviously kind of rainy because it was puddles everywhere from the last few days. But you know, England, they always rain in there. But didn't deter me. I said, I'm hungry. I'm going walk down to this Asiatic superstore, and I went in there and I asked the man, "Do you have breakfast food?" He said, "We have sandwiches in the cooler." Well, that was it. Well, they had a tuna sandwich with cheese. I said, "Tuna and red cheese." Well, I never heard of tuna and cheese. It was like pimento. They say red cheese, but to me, it was like pimento cheese. I said, "Well, for $1.95, what the heck? I'll buy it. £1 95, whatever they say over there. Be like 225 here, 250. That's a little high, but certainly good. Um, the beer was 175, 179. That would calculate out to about 220 over here for 9%, 500 milliliter can. Oh yeah, I was down for that. A morning wake up. I'd already drank 2 cups of coffee and some breakfast tea, so I was fortified in that sense. Had a vitamin C. So that Karpaki. Now that Karpaki was an interesting review because I hated it at first. I gave it a B minus. And I was being generous, but I kept sipping on it. Like after the video was off, I kept sipping on it. And I was like, man, this beer is good. It was like as it warmed up, it got better. But then the video was over, so I didn't do a follow up. I didn't think I had any memory on my camera. I didn't have much. So when I do post a video, I'm going to put a disclaimer. This beer warmed up considerably as I drank on it. And then they fed us food on the plane. I think I drank red wine on the way back. I don't remember the brand. Some, cheap red wine or something, But it was good. Cheap wine is good. You're not supposed to know that. Like that's supposed to be. You're only supposed to drink expensive wine. But the hidden secret, the actual truth of it, is cheap wine is usually good. Yes, you would like the winters in the upper peninsula of Michigan, says Joe Hill. We had 362 inches of snow. Yeah, I'd love that. Love to avoid it. Now in Moscow, it's 14 degrees. Sounds miserable, Maxwell. Ron, when did you return from London? How did you like the trip overall? Overall, I liked it. There were problems. There were definitely problems on the trip, but they were all solved. That was the good thing. Every problem was solved. Almost like a miracle, really. Really like a miracle. But a miracle means something that should not happen, but it happens, like goes against the laws of science and nature. But it happened, and then I got back on the 30th of November. Well, overall, it was fantastic, like you don't have that happen too much in your life. Not mine. Okay. Mm-hmm. I just think I don't know. Okay. Well, did the aging make a difference here? I don't see it. I don't see that. I'm just being honest. I don't see where the aging made a difference. How about the quality of both? Even. So what do we say when that is the case? We say shop price. Because what else are you going to consider? You say, what if I've never had one before and I've had the other? Well, yeah, obviously the price is the same, so try the new one. But if you've never had either one, just go with whatever's cheaper because this is a wash. It's a draw. They're even. They're even. That's it. They're even. Now, can I tell them apart? Oh, I got to take the last sips because this is a tough one. Tough, 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 tough. Mm. Smooth, easy going, nice, and refreshing. You know what I'm saying? I think that's the Jim Beam one, the old Overholt. You know why I said that? There's something about Jim Beam whiskeys. They have like a house style. I can't describe what that flavor is, but when I taste it, it makes me think that it's a Jim Beam product. And I don't know what I'm talking about, but I know I can recognize it. It's like with Sazerac products. It's something in there. Maybe it's their yeast strain. I'm thinking there, but it's something like you taste it, you say, "Oh, that tastes like a Sazerac product." Or Miller, like if you drink Miller beers, you say, "Is that a Miller beer?" It's like you can't explain it, but you can recognize. You know what I'm saying? You could just somehow recognize it when you're tasting it. Tasting it. All right. Was I tempted to buy liquor on the trip? I was tempted because the prices were so low. I thought, I could buy this bottle and drink it the whole week and it would be gone in a week. But I didn't really want to drink a whole bottle of whiskey or something in a week. But I mean to tell you, they had bottles of scotch for $4.99, like a bottle, 750, or even liters. Yeah, liters. They had a lot of liters over there, lots and lots of liters. They had 700 milliliters. That's a bad number here. Everything here got to be 750. But 700, and then they had liters, 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 liters. And they had some Scotch whiskeys over there in Gibraltar that were, oh, I'm sure it was a low grade brand. Although I did sort of recognize the names. and they had brandy for, they were $4.99 for a full bottle, 80 proof brandy and blended Scotch, $4.99. So I was very tempted to say, let me get this bottle, but then I got to carry the bottle around everywhere. I didn't have you know what I'm saying? I had a backpack. What I'm gonna do? Put the bottle in the backpack. So I was like, nah, I don't need to do that. I mean, I wanted to do it, but I didn't. So I just drank the beers at night. When I got to the hotel, I would drink the beers at night, do the reviews there, and it was so convenient to do it that way. All right, so I have some more reviews coming up, and that red was really interesting. An 8% red lager from Estrella Galicia, 1906 red. Oh, that thing was not the best, but it was so interesting. Boy, they should sell that here. We get the Red Horse. That's from the Philippines. All right, thanks, y'all. Bye bye.